Well, here we go again. Another morning, another monologue. As my father used to say, no good can come from a day that starts with getting out of bed. Well, let's get this over with. I've got the usual long opening speech to get through. If you've read your programs, you'll know that I am Strepsiades. What it doesn't tell you is that I am one of those displaced persons, shuffled from this place to that. I owned one of the few remaining family farms just outside of Athens. But once we decided to get tough with Sparta, I had to move into the city so the armies would have a place to fight. Come to the city, they said. It'll be safer, they said. What they didn't tell us was that they had canceled public welfare, Medicaid, and voting. Now, if it were just me, I could tough it out. Well, I've got a little tyke to take care of, Phidippides. He's that lump on the bench over there. How am I going to make some money? I'm not drilling oil, or digging coal, or hawking pharmaceuticals, so I can't get any help from the government. I went to Project Now, and they said, later. Moline and Davenport won't put money into anything that isn't a building, and Rock Island doesn't have any. No, I'm going to have to do what politicians do when re-election comes around. Get serious about education. Now, it's too late for me, but there's no reason Junior here has to suffer too. Oh, I want him to go back to school, get a good paying job. That's the only thing the tax man can't take away from you, an education. Now, he's already been to high school, so he knows how to play football and how to use Twitter, but the smart money's on the college degree. Fat lot he cares. He's up all night, every night at those casinos, playing blackjack, roulette, the craps table.
Come on, 7!
Come on, 7-Eleven, you mean? That's the only place you're gonna get a job.
Give me another vodka tonic.
Okay, that's it. Wake up, sonny boy, rise and shine, time for breakfast.
Huh? What? Who?
You need to stop throwing your life away. Think of your family, of me, for their sake, for my sake. Go back to school and get a good paying job. So your dear old dad can live out the rest of his days in peace and contentment. What do you say, Bunky? I see the time has come to get presidential and take the law into my own hands. Sanctius!
You rang?
No, I shouted. Can't you tell the difference?
I was speaking metaphorically.
Well, stick to Greek. I got a project for you. My son doesn't want to go back to school, but I'm sure that if we shop around, we'll be able to find some place that he'll like, somewhere that appreciates his unique talents. Now, where do you think he'd fit in?
Well, reform school. But they don't take application.
Well, what luck have we had so far?
Well, Illinois Normal said that he isn't. The Iowa School of Medicine said that they would want him, but only as an exhibit. St. Ambrose University could use him as a tackling dummy. And Augustana College said, given the choice, they'd rather admit Norwegians.
All right. There's got to be some place we haven't tried. What about the Palmer College of Chiropractic?
Turned him down, said he was all thumbs. Wooden's been drinking again.
So is my useless son. We need to get him out of the bars and into college. Where would we find a school desperate enough to accept my boy as a student?
Boss, this may be your lucky day. The stage manager just told me that a new school has just opened in the neighborhood.
Wow, what an amazing coincidence. You don't think?
Yes. It has something to do with the script.
All right, folks, pay attention. We're getting down to plot development. All right, find out who runs it and give him a background check on Google and LinkedIn. I'll try and rouse Junior again. All right, wake up, Ladybug.
Huh? What's up?
It's time for you and I had a man-to-man talk.
We aren't underwater, are we?
Point is, you spend all of your time drinking, carousing, chasing women. You call that living? Wait, let me rephrase that.
You wouldn't happen to have an Alka-Seltzer handy, would you?
Point is, I told your mother, Zeus rest her soul, that I would make sure you were prepared for success, not welfare. That you'd get an education and get a good paying job and become one of Athens' leading and wealthiest citizens. You wouldn't want to disappoint your mother now, would you?
Who?
Your mother!
Oh, yeah! The one with the apron!
Well, your mother...
Dad, not so loud. I have a slight headache. Touch of sinus, I believe.
Point is, I agreed to raise you according to her wishes. Always indulging your whims, never resorting to corporal punishment, but instead appealing to that higher, rational function which separates man from beast.
Who's
Right,
doing
boy?
that loud snoring?
Which is why I know that for her sake as well as yours, you'll pay heed to the calm tones of sober reason when I tell you gently, almost casually, that you're spending me into bankruptcy!
Easy, Dad. You're rupturing my ears.
You're lucky I don't rupture a more fundamental part of your anatomy, you leech! You think money grows on trees? You think I still print the stuff?
Father dear, I don't think Mumsy would approve of all this shouting.
Who's shouting? I mean, who's shouting? I'm just appealing to reason. My little Fidippides wants to be a credit to his family, doesn't he?
Oh, sure. I think my eyes are starting to blister.
Well, now's the time to take that step. Put your foot on the right path. Time to climb that mountain, right, boy?
Huh?
I said it's time.
For what? Breakfast?
Time to go back to school.
I'm not well.
Not so fast, Junior.
My dear old Dad, I assure you I'm ill. My mouth tastes like they held the Bix Festival in it.
Sick or not, I'm sending you back to the groves of Academe.
That's not in the Middle East, is it? They haven't started the draft again, have they?
No, there's no profit in war unless you're a contractor. I'm going to send you back to school. Otherwise, how are we going to pay all these bills? What are you going to do for money?
Well, Dad, if you could give me a bit of an advance in my allowance.
What allowance? There's nothing left.
You
Not
mean-
an opal, not a mina, not 1 red cent.
We're broke?
I did it. I did it! I finally got through to him. Yes, we're broke, wiped clean, practically penniless.
What do you mean practically?
I've buried a small pot of coins in Rock Island.
I wondered about all those holes in the streets.
City council's grubbing for money again, but they'll never find this. I've saved it for one last fling at education. And this time around, we're not messing around with any of that literature or liberal arts stuff. You're gonna get a practical education.
You mean like running big machines?
No. I don't think you can handle anything more complicated than a shovel. No, my boy, you're going to have the best things in life, like money, without having to soil your hands. You're going to learn how to clip a hedge fund, how to lobby for big pharma, how to profit from bankruptcy. In short, you're going to be a successful businessman.
Golly, will it be hard, dear old Dad?
Reck not the pain, the cost. Think of all that lays before you. State highway construction projects, no big defense contracts, dinners at Mar-a-Lago. Learn to speak Russian and they might just make you president. What do you say, boy?
Sure, Dad, sure. I'll make you proud of me. When I walk down the street, people will say, there goes that dashing young
Tycoon?
Yeah, that dashing young tycoon. Phidippides, son of Streptomycin?
Strepsiades.
Well, it's a hard name to remember. Anyways, wake me up tomorrow and we'll talk about it.
Not so fast. I have had enough. I see that I must, in the words of Shakespeare, be round with you. Go back to school, earn a PhD. I've had enough, get off of your duff and start supporting me.
No more school, it's not the life for me. Who needs a school? I'm learning the rules, watching my TV.
Whoa, there's a school called the Dinkery. Our luck is quite rare, it's right over there, and run by Socrates.
Go back to school, earn a PhD. I've had enough, get off of your duff and start supporting me.
Who needs a school? I'm learning the rules, watching my TV.
Stop all of the noise!
It's right over there, and run by
Hey!
Socrates.
I'm trying to watch Dancing with the Stars.
Can I have that Alka-Seltzer now? Somewhere quiet.
Certainly, it's in the bathroom cabinet right next to the Viagra. Now tell me what you've learned about this Socrates character.
Well, it is a bit diverting. The Chamber of Commerce came up with nothing on him, but the police have quite a file.
For instance,
Well, he started out selling encyclopedias in Corinth. He became court optometrist to King Oedipus. He developed some commercial property for the Rock Island City Council. And he worked for Governor Rauner recently as a political strategist.
what's his thinkery like?
Well, it's hard to say, but several of his graduates have worked for the last 3 administrations,
Doing what?
mostly 5 to 10.
This Socrates seems like the sort of sterling character I'm looking for. Go and help Junior with the child-proof cat. I'll go stage left and introduce myself. Anybody home?
No!
Dang it! I thought I'd have classes by now. Oh well, I guess I'll just head home and... Who's in there?
I
just told you. Nobody.
You can't fool me. There's somebody in there, and I want to talk to him right now.
Who sent you?
No one. I came of my own free will.
Well, that means you're either a narc or a buffoon.
Actually, I'm Greek.
What's the big idea of banging on the door in the middle of the night? Who do you think you are, the FBI?
It's not nighttime, it's morning.
I knew that. But anyway, the darn birds sound just like locusts. But worry or not, you spoiled my research project. I was just reaching the conclusion of my experiment when you knocked and snapped my concentration.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know much about education and all. What were you working on?
Insect acoustics.
Sounds very esoteric.
That's right. It's not a common study either. Hey, you want to hear about my experiment?
Well, no, I wouldn't want
Well,
to.
you take a trained flea, see, and you order it to jump over a piece of straw. It does. Then you tear two of the flea's legs off and order it to jump over the straw. It does. Then you tear two more of its legs off and it still gets over the straw. Finally, you tear the last two legs off and order it to jump. It doesn't. Success!
What does that prove?
Simple. When you tear off a flea's legs, it goes deaf. Get it? Well, you make a great straight man.
And that, friends, is the big joke. Now you know why we have to rewrite these things. All right, cut the comedy and show me the Socrates.
Why? You got a summons?
No, I wish to enroll my son in his thinkery.
Hey, boss! We got a live one! Well, where did you hear about our school, Fox and Friends?
No, I was just guided by my natural curiosity.
Yeah, that's just what James Comey said. Are you sure you're not from Internal Revenue?
Just a simple country farmer, I assure you. Hey, what are those strange instruments over there?
Oh, well, that's a compass. Well, we use it to figure out all the angles.
And what about that thing with the tube on the top?
Oh, this tube is actually a very small telescope. It's a basic part of the overall instrument, which we call a sextant.
A sextant? Is that used for navigation?
Well, no. You see, there's this girl's dorm just across the way. I'll reel this one in.
Are you really Socrates?
Not quite what you expected, eh? This is one republic where majority votes rule.
Hillary is going to be really jealous.
What can I do for you? I don't mean to rush things, but I have a few things to rinse out.
Is that why you travel in a laundry basket?
This isn't a laundry basket. This is General Motors' answer to the end of fossil fuel cars. The mileage version. You've heard of people leaving in a huff? This is the convertible model.
Are they expensive?
I'll sell you this one at a price you wouldn't believe.
How much?
Please tell me how much you would believe.
It's no use. I can't spare a single penny. In fact, I've come to you in my hour of need. Only you can help me.
Why don't you try the United Way?
I couldn't handle the bookwork.
Well, I'm sorry, but we don't extend credit. See you around.
Oh, I have enough money for tuition.
Say no more, you've just found a friend.
I'm sure I have. You see, my wastrel son Phidippides is squandering away all my savings. I want him to go back to school and get a good-paying job so he can support me. Now, he's not bright enough to hold down a white tunic job, and he's too clumsy to handle tools. So the only thing left is a top corporate executive.
Say no more, friend. You've come to the right place. We'll find your son a cushy job complete with golden parachute. If you can guarantee he's not overly bright.
Oh, absolutely.
He's not burdened with imagination or scruples, is he?
Not that I've noticed.
Then I repeat, the gods have smiled on you.
Wait a second, Socrates. What's with this talk of gods? I always heard that you were an atheist.
Untrue. There's no more devout servant of the gods than Socrates. Of course, I don't mean the usual run-of-the-mill gods like Zeus and that crowd.
You mean I've been subscribing to the wrong theology?
If you've been bending the knee to that chauvinist, you certainly have. No woman on earth is safe with that Zeus running around like a bull, swan, shower of gold, and a box of Viagra.
Yeah, I think I read about him getting picked up in Tijuana last week.
Besides, the Olympians are into the work ethic. What millennials need is a race of gods who won't be making demands all the time, who will help people float through life, building castles in the air, daydreaming.
I think my son's already a convert. Who are these gods?
Who else? The clouds!
Oh, so that's how the play got its name. Of course, they live in the sky.
They shield us from the hot blaze of the sun.
They moisten the earth with life-giving water. Or at least they did last week.
And when they're feeling unusually generous to suffering humanity, they rain on our plays.
But how does one invoke these divine beings?
You just press the right button on the CD player. Hail, supreme rulers of all, kings of the immortals, queens of the sky.
Wait a
My-
second. How can they be both kings and queens at the same time?
They simply adjust to the restroom signs. Besides, you must have noticed that clouds constantly change shape.
Why, you're right. They shift from one thing to another. Now, like a camel.
By the mast, 'tis like a camel indeed.
He thinks it is like a weasel,
It is backed like a weasel,
or like a whale.
very like a whale.
Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I! It is not...
Hold on, wrong play.
Once more into the breach, dear friends! Once more! Or close the wall up with our English
Hey!
dead!
Snap out of it. This is Greek week, remember?
Huh? Where was I?
I was just explaining to you that the clouds can be either kings or queens because they're always changing shape. When they see a fox, they take the shape of a fox. When they spot a clump of trees, they're transformed into tree shapes.
Well, right now they look like girls. How do you explain that?
They've been watching Wonder Woman. But now, the supreme rulers of the upper world have deigned to visit us.
Shouldn't you be careful, Socrates, when calling them supreme rulers? What if Zeus drops a thunderbolt?
Put by your childish fears. From whence, may I ask, cometh the thunderbolt?
Why, from... Hey, that's right, from the clouds!
And how do you imagine rain originates?
Well, rain usually happens after the gods have a big drinking party. You see, they lap up all that beer, and pretty soon they have to...
Not so. The clouds weep advance in gratitude, and that produces rain.
You're kidding me.
Oh, no. The clouds have been much mistreated by us mortals, especially when Teresa Bryant tries to predict what they're going to do next. It is better and safer to give them their rightful due as divine beings.
I'm sure I don't recall being rude to any clouds.
Ingratitude can be worse than rudeness. If you doubt me, listen as I invoke them. Once more. Hail, goddesses! We, unworthy creatures, beg your attention and solicitude. Do thou speak to us, mortals who wish to keep our heads in the clouds. Earthbound creatures who only ask proof that somebody up there likes us. Reveal yourselves to us. Speak, I pray. Now?
We bring fresh showers for thirsting flowers, but never when they're needed. Then turn around and flood the ground just when your garden's seeded. If business chores keep you indoors, the sun will shine all day. But once you stop to golf or shop, there'll be hail to pay. So why do we incessantly break the golden rule? We may be daughters of earth and waters, but we ain't nobody's fool. Whene'er we freeze some Florida trees, orange prices rise. Every whiz in the produce biz profits, but not us guys. So that is why we left the sky to make this observation. You can't depend on weathermen for your precipitation. You want rain? We'll tell you plain. Toss your money to the sky. When we see dough, the rain will flow. Otherwise, you fry.
I'm convinced there are no gods but the clouds, and Socrates is their prophet. Sirs, or madams, as the case may be, I beg you to admit me as your disciple.
First, Buster, just what are your intentions?
I beg to be admitted into Socrates' thinkery, preferably on a scholarship.
Objection! You forget that tithing is the clown's plan for salvation. And it figures pretty heavily in my plans, too.
What do you want to go to a dumb old school for, Charlie?
I want a yacht like Donald Trump had, a house like Bill Gates's, a limousine with Grey Poupon mustard in the glove box. I want a blessing from Jim Dobson, appointment as ambassador to Monte Carlo, and a major tax break from the Moline City Council.
Can Socrates give you all that?
Good question. Socrates, can you guarantee this education of yours will yield results? Do you have references?
Plato! Aristotle!
We are philosophers, the best you'll find. We've come to ask what's on your mind.
Take this old gaffer inside. Appoint this gentleman with our curriculum, then run him through the usual aptitude and IQ tests with a special call to the credit bureau. We'll soon find out if you're thinkery material.
Oh, gee, does this mean I've matriculated?
If you have, it doesn't show at all.
Now we entreat the clowns for a special dance to appease the ghost of Aristophanes. Never hurts to buy a little insurance. Let's get Cirrus, Stratus 2, Jack B. Nendus, and Alto Q.
Good evening. I am Aristophanes, supremely gifted poet of the comic theater. An amusing device. I'm always on the qui-vive for something novel to tickle your risibilities. As you know, I have a commanding reputation as a subtle and ingenious humorist, and I am keenly conscious of the need to rise to ever-ascending plateaus of sophistication. Which brings me to my appearance here tonight. I've been bustling about the earth lately, managing amusements for the gods. You might have seen some of my most recent attempts. Budget dealings in the Illinois legislature, congressional attempts to enrich the wealthy, Hollywood's usual gaggle of summer turkeys. But, hilarious as these undertakings have been, I find that nothing affords me so much pleasure as one of the performance of my classic comedies, especially The Clouds. Let me tell you why. You might find this hard to believe, but when first produced, The Clouds was a bomb of truly atomic proportions. Not even Neil Simon could have salvaged that stinker. Smarting at this fall from perfection, I withdrew the script and completely rewrote it. Unhappily, I left this worldly stage for the great encore in the sky before the new version was performed. Thus, I have had to content myself with the rhapsodic praise of theater critics who have read it. Yet, I long to see the play. This is why I haunt theaters, hoping to catch my masterpiece in all its delicate glory. You can imagine my delight when I saw the poster in the local laundromat. Aristophanes, The Clouds, presented by some hospital patients, the Genesis Guild, I believe. It's a charming work, a deft skewering of my good friend Socrates. Unhappily, some of my more literal-minded Athenian friends took my satire seriously and condemned Socrates to death. Oh well, not all audiences are good ones. But I mustn't tarry. I must find the director and command his choice of plays. Though how he decides to stage the work on this loading dock, I can't imagine. I'll leave you with this amusing aphorism. Early to bed and early to rise. And you'll never meet any interesting people. This isn't Athens, is it?
Right this way, Strep. What was the name again?
Strepsiades.
Strep. It's a hard name to remember.
I'm sorry, it's the only one I've got.
That's okay, Streptococcus. I've got it. Now, before you can be initiated into the mysteries of the thinkery, you must pass some trifling tests.
Now, hold on a minute. I don't know anything about your school. Why should I send my little boy here instead of the Davenport College of Cosmetology or the Clinic Massage Institute? Do you guys have any brochures or videos you show to prospective students?
Videos? We don't need no stinking videos.
Then how do you let people know about your school?
The Music Guild way!
Socrates, be a brain like Socrates, be a scholar, get a job, like his high lucrative snobs, with a check or MasterCard, get him educated in You want a nice diploma, but you're dumber than dirt. You want to go to classes, but you're feeling inert. Well, how to solve these problems? Well, some cash wouldn't hurt. My degree's from Socrates.
physical being.
Well, we'll see if you have a future in the thinkery. Time for entrance exams.
First, we'll need to test your physical strength. Here, catch this. It appears the body is too far gone to be salvaged. I think we can skip right to manual dexterity.
Here, old timer, let's see how well you handle this common tool.
Where's the switch? How do you turn it on? Come to think of it, there isn't anywhere out here to plug it in.
It appears there are no nerves connecting his hands to his brain. Let's try another tack. How are you at rhythms of speech?
Well, the Pope and I are both in favor of it.
No. Rhythms of speech. I mean, are you familiar with iambic pentameter?
I never even met the lady.
Haven't you ever heard of iambs, trochees, and anapests?
Is that Mark Schwiebert's law firm?
We have drawn a blank.
There must be something he can handle. Hey, Pops, what about repartee?
Repartee. I was thinking of voting for him.
No. I mean verbal exchanges. How are you on squelchers?
What's a squelcher?
An indispensable weapon in the successful man's arsenal of language. A way to get the upper hand, exert your superiority, put down the other guy. More intimidating than a presidential handshake. Aristotle, let's show him routine S4.
Hey, say, Mac, what time is it?
Well, how did you know my name was Mac?
I don't know. I just guessed.
Then guess what time it is? See? You cut the guy down and impress your friends as a ready wit.
Oh, gee, that's a dazzler. Can I try?
Be my guest.
Say, Mac, how far is it to Spencer Square?
Why, how did you know my name was Mac?
I don't know. I just guessed.
Oh, guess what time it is?
No, that's not it.
Guess what time it was?
You're impossible.
Of course, when you come right down to it, my name isn't really Mac.
Look, Gears. I'm afraid you're going to make history. You are going to be the first person ever turned down at the thinkery. Kind of like failing the famous artist test. Aristotle, would you please show our guest to the door? The back door.
Wait, you can't. How am I going to pay all my debts?
Do what Congress does. Borrow from China.
But there must be some way I can take advantage of your educational system.
Do what most people your age do. Make your children go through it.
Hey, say, I think I had that idea back in Act 1. I really need to start paying more attention to my script. I'll go get a little time.
Well, win a few, lose a few. Come on, let's go back inside and check the chemistry class. The stuff in the still should be about ready.
I beg your pardon, Mac. Where might I find the director?
Why, how did you know my name was Mac?
I don't know. I just guessed.
Then guess how far it is to Spencer Square.
That's odd. I could have sworn they were doing the clouds somewhere around here.
Wake up, sonny boy, rise and shine. Today's your lucky day.
Am I dead?
Of course not.
Oh, I couldn't be that lucky.
Aw, you feeling okay, Spunky?
I think I have a slight head cold. My mouth tastes like the bottom of a bird cage.
Well, shake it on. I'm going to take you to Socrates' Thinkery.
Huh?
You're going back to school.
Death before dishonor! Give me a glass of water.
Now, son, it's not like that at all. This is one of those schools that'll turn you into an executive, like I told you in Act 1.
Was I in Act 1?
Of course, don't you remember?
I gotta start cutting down. Where is this place?
Just a few steps over to stage left. Come on, lean on me, boy. I plan to lean on you when you're rich and famous.
I'm okay. Are you sure they nailed this platform down? Feels kind of wobbly.
Socrates! Oh, Socrates! I'm back, and I brought my little boy.
Ah, yes, Socrates. Welcome to the bakery, sir. Is this the little boy I've heard so much about?
I can explain the whole thing, officer. I never even knew it was a bar. I thought I was getting on a bus.
Yes, I can prospect. I'm very happy to meet you, Sonny.
Oh, hi. Give me a double bourbon and a beer.
I think he's ready for graduate level studies.
What are you doing after the show, babe?
Plato! Aristotle! Da, 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 da.
We are logicians of ancient stock. We heard you call, so what's up, Doc?
Take this fellow into the thinkery. I believe he's in a most receptive state and ready to absorb our secrets.
Let's go, pal.
Okay, let's head down to the Blue Cat. Boy, these plays get shorter every week.
I don't mean to be crass, Stret Poker, but haven't you forgotten something?
No! I mean, a couple of lines in the beginning, but that was a long time.
I mean tuition, money. What Pat Robertson cries for. I believe you said something about a pot of coins.
Oh, yeah, I'll go dig it up right now. I'll be right back.
While you're at the bank, I'll show Junior the ropes. He's probably hanging on them by now. See you later.
Excuse me, ma'am. I mean, ma'am. Where might I find the director? I understand there is to be a performance of The Clouds here tonight, and I'd very much like to see it. Where is the play being executed?
You couldn't have chosen a better verb. You'll find the director out back kicking the Pepsi machine. Careful what you say to him, though. He hasn't had his rabies shots this summer.
Thank you very much. I distinctly remember seeing the poster. It said The Clouds by Aristophanes. Plain as anything. Huh.
Pray, don't use pays us no mind. We are the Kabuki Theater stagehands, Local 413. We combine the subtleties of the Orient with the best Western theatrical traditions to move heavy scenery in and out without having to resort to no pointing, but rather playing on the will and suspension of disbelief that is the hallmark of the real classy theater. Now, I ain't saying that this is a classy theater, you understand? It's just that they ain't got no point. So me and my associates dresses in dark clothes so yous won't notice while we move stuff in and out in plain view of the audience. It's a living. Oh, personally, I thought the River City Reader hit the nail right on the head when they said these actors was competent. I buy that. They's competent. I mean, they don't draw on the costumes or nothing, so they's at least competent. The one critical judgment that the Quad City Times reviewer made that I most agree with was her review of the last play. She didn't even see it. Not that these folks want reviews or nothing. If Quad City Arts gets wind of what goes on up here, they'll run them out of town. Oh, well, don't let me interrupt or nothing. I gotta get back to, hey! Drop that. Use it just an apprentice invisible stagehand. You can't pick up nothing heavy like that till you mix journeyman. Pushy kids. Well, I gotta go. And remember, if anyone asks you, you ain't seen us. Okay, ladies, the stage is clear. Yous can come out now.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er bush and trees, when all at once I saw a crowd watching Aristophanes beside a pond upon a hill, slowly but surely turning ill, silent as the bovine herd by subtle advertisements conned. They strained to hear a single word come audibly across the pond. 24 saw I at a peep, snoring deeply, sound asleep. The actors opposite muttered, but they outdid the actors' feeble best. A poet hardly could be gay to see his work laid thus to rest. I gazed and gazed, then left the ground as vegetables were passed around. Now onward through the sky I float, without a worry, free from care. That ghastly scene again I note, and tremble at what happened there. Those actors beaten to their knees for ruining Aristophanes.
Welcome, friend, to the Thinkery, the educational equivalent of the Apache Helicopter Project. This is a modern approach to education with no time wasted on reading, writing, spelling, and useless mathematical skills.
I heard that, Socrates.
Look out. It's that old party pooper, Basic Ed.
I don't blame you for being upset. This place is a menace.
Oh, yeah? You don't fool me with that talk. You're just trying to win my new student over to your outdated academy.
This is a new student. He looks like one of your honors graduates. I wouldn't take him with a federal subsidy.
Glad to hear it. Because this one is paying cash in advance.
Oh, well, in that case, it's my duty to salvage the poor wretch and give him the benefits of an old-fashioned education. Surely, my boy, you don't want to squander your talents in this unspeakable parody of a school?
I'm thirsty.
I know what you're thirsting for. Knowledge, wisdom, and the old value.
Is that anything like old Milwaukee?
Phidippides, don't listen to this old fogey. Everything you want in life is here. We'll teach you how to cope with the real world. You don't want to spend your time studying multiplication tables, do you?
No,
Don't listen to her, boy. She'll lead you down the primrose path to ruin.
I've already been there a couple of times.
Look, let's be fair about this. Let's behave like adults, like competing smartphone companies, for example. You give him your propaganda, and I'll give him the truth.
Well, I'm not sure I altogether trust you, but agreed.
First of all, lad, I'd like to introduce the man who coordinates our programs. The Thinkery became a university following a technique used by St. Ambrose. We ordered new stationery. Then we figured out that all the world's a stage. And what do you need on a stage? Talent, that's what. So the Thinkery has become a major talent agency, the MCA of the Mediterranean. And this is the man who prepares our students for the minutes of fame, ars gratia pecuniae, liberal arts for short.
How you doing, baby? Listen, sweetheart, I got a part for you in Pixar's remake of War and Peace.
I'd like to introduce you to Miss Alice B. Stern, who's run our educational program for the past 78 years. Miss Stern, this is...
Sit down and be quiet!
Miss Stern teaches a broad range of subjects: history, language, mathematics, science, and eraser dusting.
Hold still! Quit fidgeting!
The core of our program is discipline.
We're all just going to sit here until we figure out who's been making spitballs.
We figure if you break a kid's spirit, then you can mold him into anything. Ideally, a reliable consumer. But you have to drill.
Spell dog!
D-O-G. Once learned, these lessons are never forgotten.
Spell cat!
D-O-G. Because they're driven home with discipline and corporal punishment.
Put on your galoshes and don't dawdle on the way home.
This is the kind of schooling which has produced Athens' heroes. Nothing else will work.
And don't forget your homework.
Pardon me. I've got to say something here. I don't think your way of handling people would ever produce a Leonardo DiCaprio.
Maybe not, but they'll know how to spell.
All the letters you need to know are the name you signed to a contract. Another thing, you've got just one teacher. We not only have personal trainers and therapists, but we also have separate teachers for each task that one of our future stars will have to cope with. Permit me to introduce one of our specialists. This is Miss Francine Frenchie Kerr, who heads up the Kim Kardashian College of Secretarial Science and Being Famous Without Talent.
Put on your coat, you'll catch your death of cold.
One of the basic courses for all incoming freshmen is Telephone Answering 101. When your agent phones, you've got to be ready to take that call. You'd be surprised how many aspiring starlets lack this fundamental skill. Here to demonstrate is one of our first-year students from Bettendorf High. Ding-a-ling. Oh, how? No, dear. It's hell. Oh. Hello. Try again. Ding-a-ling.
Somebody call me?
How? How?
Wash your mouth out with soap.
Oh, it's just too difficult. I'll never learn. There, poor thing. I guarantee by the end of the term, you'll be working that phone like a pro. And I have the subpoenas from an independent prosecutor to prove it.
Atta girl, Frenchie. We'll get lunch tomorrow, okay, sweetheart? Love you, baby.
And whoever does answer that girl's call, we'll have one of our graduates listening in. At the Athenian schools, we not only train eavesdroppers, spies, and those nosy Parkers from the NSA, but we also train the prosecutors that take them to trial. Permit me to introduce the dean of our law school, a man whose diligence has generated a snowstorm in the Twitterverse, and some croaking among the denizens of Washington's great swamp, Robert Mueller.
Was in a courtroom that first ever I heard. Subpoena, subpoena, subpoena. I thought it a magical, lawyerly word. Subpoena, subpoena, subpoena. I got my diploma and summoned the nerve to hang out my shingle, then started with verve to spend my procession in trying to serve. Subpoenas, subpoena, subpoena. When I was in charge of the old FBI, subpoena, subpoena, subpoena. For settling cases, we got a supply of subpoenas, subpoenas, subpoenas. Government leaders are taken aback when my summons arrive in a towering stack. Somehow they never had noticed a lack of subpoenas, subpoenas, subpoenas. As the old wheels of justice are starting to grind, subpoena, subpoena, subpoena. The president's buddies are starting to find their subpoenas, subpoena, subpoena. The process is already beginning on cue to separate things that are false from what's true. Too bad we can't serve the whole Kremlin crew. Subpoena, subpoena, subpoena.
Who is making all that noise in the cloakroom? Oh,
I didn't know lawyers could sing.
It's better if they know what it's good for.
Oh, it's that kind of dedication that forms the sinews that holds our society together and puts it in jail. I rest my case.
you may rest, but some of us never quit when it comes to the subject of education. You're not dealing with someone who wasted her time in teacher's college. You have to realize that the Thinkery is a modern education student. I've guaranteed the future of it by having Betsy DeVos appointed Secretary of Education. She's going to junk all the antiquated schools with their flowery talk of STEMs. Science, technology, engineering, and math won't get you a slot on Fox and Friends. Getting kids to think only causes trouble.
No, thinking is good, but football is better.
The Thinkery's research programs are not only baffle box office, but designed to boost the nation's economy. All the language skills a kid needs is what it takes to get a credit card and buy an iPhone, and enough math skills to sign up for a subprime mortgage and fill out a bankruptcy petition.
A school should be an ivory tower.
A school should be a talent farm. Show me a kid who would rather learn algebra than body surf at a rock concert, and I'll show you someone who will never be humiliated on American Idol.
I'm glad you brought up the subject of idols, Art. That's our specialty. We believe that the best way to prepare the stud muffin of tomorrow is with a complete sports program. Allow me to introduce to you that all-Athenian athlete, Stupidities, 3-time champion catcher of the Olympic shot put.
Coach,
What kind of name is Stupidities?
it's Greek for Adam Sandler.
Stu, tell these people what the discipline of athletics has meant to you.
The discipline of athletics has saved my life.
How?
Because if I don't do what Coach wants, he hits me with a tire iron.
Stu, why do you endure the grueling calisthenics, the endless practices, and the unremitting self-sacrifice?
Huh?
Why do you...
Because if I don't, Coach hits me with a tire iron. Those things don't break too easy.
Well, Stu, why do you want to be an athlete?
Because athletes get a lot of money and girls.
Why do you want a lot of money in girls?
I don't know. I ain't had those classes yet.
Yada, yada, yada. You're stuck in the mud, pal. Personally, if I was handling the kid, I'd have him sign a $1 million contract with the Bears.
Huh?
That pitch woke your boy up and got him the transfer to the Thinkery.
What? You mean you've stolen our best student athlete? I don't understand.
Stupidities is a fine physical specimen, but even he realized that muscle alone isn't enough. So he followed our top instructors into the Thinkery. These model teachers gave him a groundwork in verbal skills, utilizing a simple formula that helped him develop a keen analytical facility.
Which means?
Phonics! This young man was drafted by the University of California Trojan Horses. He passed his physical with flying colors.
Buns of steel.
But as he took his place at the training table, he realized to his horror,
I can't read Greek.
fortunately, there was a TV set in the room and he heard the sirens call.
Cooked by phonics. Worked for me. Call ADMS PhD.
And in no time, he had mastered the rudiments of this exotic science. What's the sound for A?
R.
How do you pronounce C-A-R-E?
Car.
What's the sound for O?
Oh.
How do you pronounce P-O-T?
Boat.
He was back at the table, able to order any of the entrees. Like this, for example.
This?
How was he able to decipher? By using phonics.
As in enough. Yeah, as in women. As in action. G-H-O-T-I. This.
It's Greek to him and it can be Greek to you. By phonics. By phonics, it's your word for me. Greeks, a breeze, as simple as can be. Just abandon reasoning and hearing and learn to sing some really stupid lyrics. An audience that sleeps deep, a director you can cross. M's for music we can't read, S for scripts that we are lost. E for programs incorrect, H for overheated cast. D, the song is really dumb. We're out of here at last.
Well, that's just the educational side of Thinkery's Talent Showcase. We're also the first agency to bring science to the Broadway stage and silver screen. For example, our meteorology course was developed by noted weather guru Terry Swales and choreographer Bob Fosse.
That's stupid.
No, that's progress. The Thinkery no longer has to resort to that tired old double Doppler digital dial-up radar. We're not only dealing with global warming head-on, but we're also producing future talent to revive the countryside community theater as well.
I don't believe you.
No? Just watch our most recent experiment. It's a kind of advanced thinking that got your philosophers in training, Plato and Aristotle, to run it.
I'm waiting for the rain. I'm charging in vain. What a miserable feeling it gives me a pain. The highs and the lows, the fronts and the troughs. Wandering and dreaming is totally off. I'm racking my brain while farmers complain. Instead of soybeans, they're all raising cane. The smile on my face is quickly erased, 'cause there's nothing indicating rain. Alto stratus! Alto cumulus! Cumulonimbus! Alto cumulus castellatus! Fluffy! Humidity rises while temperatures soar. In Dallas, it stays at 100 or more. El Nino is going. La Nina is here. Nobody knows what's ahead for this year. The Weather Channel is looking askance. The only thing left is to try a rain dance. Feeling anything yet?
Not a drop.
Are you sure this is how Andy McRae does it?
Well, Socrates, it looks like you've got most of the production resources in this play. Why don't we work out a compromise? All this bickering makes us seem like Speaker Madigan and Governor Warner. Let's pool our resources, and then we can split the fee after we double.
You know, Ed, old boy, there are some fundamentals that show up in every educational system. Double it is. Now, I'm sure Phidippides here will choose. Hey, where'd he go?
Some teacher you are, you'll let a paying student slip right through your fingers.
Guard all the exits. Find that kid before his father gets back with the money.
General confusion as everyone on stage looks from right to left.
Days, school days, drinking old wine mule days, dances and parties and all that jazz, giving the teachers a razzmatazz.
Always been chewing gum again? Where have you been, Phidippides? Classes are ready to begin.
I've decided not to go to school. This guy talked me out of it.
Who are you to impede the progress of this play?
Well, I'm the guy who wrote it. Well, I didn't write this particular version, but I'll probably be blamed for it.
But Phidippides has to make a choice so we can do the chase and get down to Kavanaugh's. They're only open till 1, you know.
That's just too bad. This guy said he was in the clouds and told me what's been going on in the name of classic theater. So I decided to just stop the whole thing before any scholars got wind of it. Not to mention the police. Gad, is it possible to be banned in Rock Island?
What do we do?
Hit him with a tire iron, coach.
Got to get things moving again, but how?
Can't anyone think of a way to start the chase?
I brought my pot of coins.
Money!